Andrea, we close most of our shows telling our listeners how they can come see you up at Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa. Do you want to tell the listeners the cool news, or can I?
I think I've got this one, Adam. Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa is joining the Dichotomy Media team, and this time, the investment is being turned around to you, the listener. Keep your eye on our podcast Facebook page for contests and giveaways that include massages, pedicures, and gift cards for all services. Brent Allen is a Paul Mitchell-focused salon, which keeps us up to date on the latest hair trends and fashions.
The atmosphere at Brent Allen is inviting as well as comfortable. The spa brings the definition of tranquility into a reality. You can enjoy a wide range of massage techniques to facials, body scrubs, wraps, pedicures, waxing, spray tan, and much more.
Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa is located at 3570 North Highway 1 in Cocoa, just 1 mile north of 528. Come in and see us in person or visit us online. The pricing and menu of services can be found at BrentAllenSalon.net or call to book an appointment at 321-639-7376. If you book with me, be sure to mention this ad and receive 20% off your first service.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10. Aw,
what's up, guys?
Yeah. No Tach tonight. He is off taking care of the kids this evening. So, but there's still four of us. So there are four of us in studio. I am Adam. I am one of your regular hosts, but I am not hosting this week. Since there's no Tach, we're going to throw it over to the Lady Chays.
We are the hosts, and we're so cheesy. The lists are written by us, so talking is easy.
But, all right, we'll go with that. That's Miss Andrea Joy over there.
Hi.
On the ones and
Joy.
twos.
Spin hot bars.
Sitting over in the big recliner over in studio.
It's Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Oh, and Andrea, did you have the list tonight?
No, I'm not doing one.
Okay, all right.
I am also not your host tonight. That's a couple weeks out.
Oh, yeah. So let me preface this next guest a little bit. So in honor of the Christmas season, or if you're not into Christmas, the seasonal time of the year, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas around town. You see things up on light posts now, on like the telephone poles are starting to decorate.
Already?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd like to say there's a lot of green and red that we see throughout the town.
Yeah.
So I think this gentleman that I'm about to introduce is certainly going to make this room very green tonight. So we have none other than Mr. Dabbz Kay from the Burn It Down show.
What I go on?
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hanging in there, Dabbz. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. A little bit nervous. Y'all bet y'all get that a lot though when you know.
We do. At the beginning, it's always a little nerve-wracking, but we'll go hit that Jack Daniels a few times, and we'll be all right.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Might want to put the bottle right next to me.
All right, so if you're a new listener to the Twisted 10, I'll go over the format with you. Tach usually does this. Josh, Andrea, do you guys want to, Mr. Wilson or Andrea, do you want a shot at explaining how the Twisted 10 works?
I wanted to hear what you were going to say.
Oh, all right.
They said you got this, bro.
All right, so basically each week, one of the regular hosts, or a guest host in this case, like Mr. Dabbz Kay, brings an original and unique top 10 list to the listeners. It can be any subject, it does not matter. There is no restriction. It can be uber sexual. It can be over the top about laws, like Andrea Joy's lists have been in the past. It can be basically anything. It doesn't matter. The only caveat is it can't be completely ripped off. It can be inspired by like a BuzzFeed or one of the other list sites that are out there. However, it has to be original. It has to be yours. You have to put your own special spin on your list.
Okay.
So in this week's case, I have a feeling Mr. Dabbz Kay is going to bring a pretty uniquely spun list of some kind. I know what it is, but the other they have no clue. They don't have any idea.
You wouldn't tell us.
Nope, I'm keeping it a secret. And then basically we break down each one of the top 10, have a little bit of banter back and forth.
Why are we doing it though? We take a turkey and we stuff the list inside of it.
Here we go.
And then we put it in the oven and we bake it for 12 hours. And then we take it out and we carve up the turkey. Then we get the list out and then we eat it. And then it comes back to us where we present it to you, our listeners.
Yay.
Oliver. Oh.
He approves.
Hey, is there somebody here?
No?
It might be Margaret.
Is Margaret coming over?
Yeah, she's coming tonight. She knows we're recording, so
Hang on,
she
let
may
me
not
look.
have.
All right. So yeah, false alarm. Thanks, Oliver. We appreciate the studio alarm going off. But,
Preach, Ollie.
so with, I guess with that being said, Dabbz, this is the point. And Attack usually throws a proverbial fake set of keys at the listener. I'm not going to throw anything at you.
No. I can
You
guess.
can just send it through a text.
It's 2017.
Yeah, I'll IM it to you. Oh, I do want to say something too. Mr. Wilson brought something for us. Mr. Wilson is kind of our technology guy in the studio.
Okay.
You guys have on Burn It Down show, you've got computer. You've got your own live-in host that also does all the fact checks and does your random searches. We're
Air quotes
introducing
everywhere.
All over the place.
we're introducing. This is not a plug for them, even though we think it's really fucking cool. However, we're introducing the Google Home
Yeah, we're
device.
gonna. Yeah, it's a Google Home. We'll try it out tonight. See how it goes.
And we have her mic'd up. So any question we want to ask her, she'll answer for us. Hopefully. Hopefully. any
She's
question.
been a bit moody.
Yep.
You want to sample it? See what can we ask her just to sample it for the listeners?
Hey Google, what's the farthest into space that we've traveled?
On the website curious.astro.cornell.edu, they say, currently, Voyager 1 is about 130 times the Earth-Sun distance, or 19.5 billion kilometers from home. Not only is Voyager 1 the furthest spacecraft from Earth, it's also
cool.
now officially the only spacecraft to have
Okay,
ever
Google,
left the
stop.
solar system.
Oh, she listens. It's
She
a woman.
did.
Can you reprogram her voice? Can it be like
It can be this voice or a dude's voice.
nice? All right, so that's actually mic'd up in studio. That's Mr. Wilson's personal Google Home device. That's really fucking cool. Oh, by the way, Andrea is in charge of Plug Bell tonight since we don't have Attack.
Yay.
Everything's gonna get plugged.
All right.
Sweet. All right, Mr. Dabbz Kay. At this point in the show, buddy, this is your entire show. So you take it over. Do you want to talk real quick about Burn It Down a little bit so our listeners know where to go? That's a perfect plug bell. Perfect timing. So our listeners know where to go to find you. We've had you guys in here a ton too.
burnitdownshow.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us or email the show at talktoburntdown.com, I think. Something like that. I never remember the email. But look us up on Facebook. Hit the website up. You know what I'm saying? We're everywhere too. We're on iHeartRadio. We're trying to get on Spotify, but we're anywhere and everywhere you can get a podcast. You'll find the show.
Who do you guys host through? Is it through SoundCloud?
Yeah, still through SoundCloud. Yeah.
Cool. I know Spotify just took a bunch of Libsyn and and one Podbean. I think they took, or maybe it's Blueberry. They took a bunch. They took a bunch of those shows and incorporated them in. So I'm sure they're going to get to SoundCloud and the other ones here soon.
Dude, they need to hurry
That's
up.
cool. You brought over a cool magnet for us. By
Yeah,
the way.
we just got magnets out. Yeah, I actually just got them today. That's how new they are. But
Sweet,
yeah.
fresh
So
off
it's
the presses.
Our first one. This is going to be the first in many. Oh shit!
Just throw it on the ground.
Are they? I assume they're waterproof too.
Yeah, they're fun. They're really good magnets. Honestly, they're nice and thick and heavy. But yeah, and they're a little more durable. The dude was telling me that they don't fade as quickly as some of the other magnets out there in the sun. So yeah.
Now, are you guys going to be doing the? You're good. Are you guys going to be doing the game of magnets kind of thing, like Tom and Dan and News Junkie?
That's a negative.
Negative? Okay.
Yeah. Don't steal my Tom and Dan magnet, and don't steal my goddamn Burn It Down magnet. You know what I mean? If I have a News Junkie magnet on my car, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the game. I'm not going to be like, oh, get away. But
Sure.
You leave my other magnets alone, goddamn. You know what I mean?
Andrea and Josh, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
not
guys know this.
familiar with the magnet game that News Junkie's doing.
It started with News Junkie, and then Tom and Dan's listeners they're intertwined with the News Junkie. So the News Junkie has something called Game of Magnets, and they actually play a caveat that says we don't endorse this. This is entirely up to you, the listeners and fans. But basically, the magnets, I think they're all numbered too, I believe.
Some
but anyway,
of them.
Yeah, some of them. You stick a magnet on a car, and it's fair game. If somebody wants to come up and take that magnet and put it on their car, that's the game of magnets. So you lose your magnet, so then you have to go hunt to find your replacement magnet put back in your car.
That's fun.
Yeah. So
there's literally people like hopping out in traffic, like running up on cars. Like it's bad. It's completely irresponsible.
I think it's awesome.
I know, right?
It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, but look how good that magnet is,
I'll
man.
stay
It
right
sticks
there.
right to the fucking
Check that
arm,
shit out.
man. Okay.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Mr. Dabbz Kay. So we're going to turn it over to you for you to bring your festive, your Christmas list, or
Oh God, I hate Christmas.
something to do with
Christmas.
maybe something to do with trees.
That's my birthday. Goddamn. Yeah. Well, okay. My top 10 list, because everybody knows Dabbz Kay. He loves to smoke the reefers. Like, it's not a secret. So my list, I thought it would be awesome to do top 10 myths about reefers.
Oh,
Yeah, so my favorite top 10 top 10 reefer myths.
I like this. I think
yeah.
I'm sure I can already come up with a few, but yeah, I can't.
Well, there's so many. There was literally so many as I was doing research. There's like just lists and lists on lists. So I'm just going through cherry picking some of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty much a list I've compiled of my favorite reefer myths.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous reefer rant.
I want to point out while Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 do not necessarily endorse marijuana.
No.
If this shit becomes legal, I'm all over it.
All
Just
right,
saying.
party in the back.
Like you're gonna just like put it all over the bed and just roll around in
Yeah,
it.
you know how people
all
put
over it.
people put like eucalyptus in their house for the smell, or whatever. I'm gonna do that with weed.
You're just gonna have a little weed warmer in the corner, just
Little cannabis air freshener.
Always going.
I would do it.
Our kids would be so mellow.
They would be the chillest, coolest kids ever. Kenny does not endorse that at all.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to do the cover art for this episode. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun one.
Okay, so I did want to start a little bit with by telling you guys why marijuana was made illegal in the first place.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
I love this.
There's plenty of different reasons actually. There's a lot deeper. It goes a lot deeper than this, but this is my favorite right here, right? So there is a man called Harry Anslinger, right? And he was put in charge of the Department of Prohibition in the 30s, all right? So this was while they were doing the alcohol prohibition, and of course it failed miserably. So he found himself in a position where he didn't really have anything to do, and he wasn't gonna have a job basically. So he decided, after previously saying that there was nothing wrong with cannabis and it didn't do anything, it was bullshit.
Sure.
It wasn't bullshit, but he was like, there's nothing wrong with it, it's fine. He decided to go really hard and campaign against it, right? So what ended up happening was he started his campaign and he explained to the public that if you smoked marijuana, you would fall into a delirious rage, and then you'd be gripped by dreams of erotic types.
Wow.
You'd be gripped with sex dreams, and finally you would just go insane, like reefer madness. Like they really thought that you would just lose your mind and just start raping motherfuckers. Oh, it was bad. So.
This sounds like a sales pitch, not a. I think I'm like, dude, this sounds great so far.
Yeah, he literally said smoking marijuana turns men into wild beasts, and this is the 30s, so it was probably worded a little different. Maybe like the Negroes turn into wild beasts.
Well, I was going to say, because one of the quotes that came out of that era, for that Prohibition era, was marijuana will make
the Negroes go crazy
and make the black guys rape our white women. That was literally a slogan that they used for some of that
Keep
stuff.
them away from white women and them jazz cigarettes. That's a real thing.
Oh my god, jazz
How
cigarette.
insane.
I like that.
So the icing on the cake was he became obsessed with a dude named Victor Licata, who hacked up his family with an axe. And he basically said that he was high on cannabis while he did it, and that's why he did it. So he used that scene and the press and truly vilified reefer to the point to where it became illegal in the United States.
Jesus.
Now, outside of the United States, other countries were like, we don't really see the problem with it. But he put a lot of pressure because of trade. He's like, look, we're not going to trade with any, especially Mexico. Mexico fought it the hardest all the way into the end. And they finally stopped trading with Mexico and they broke. And that's why mostly around the world cannabis went illegal. He sent out to 30 scientists all of the information he had and asked them to tell him whether or not they thought cannabis was bad. And 29 of them wrote back no. And he just went with the one guy that agreed with him, and he put it out to the press, and that was it. Reefer was illegal ever since then.
Damn.
Because the guy didn't want to lose his job.
Yeah. I heard there was a lot of influence too from the
hemp industry. No, it's not the hemp industry.
Cotton.
I'll get into that too.
Yeah, got it. Let's not steal thunder. Just say, Adam, this is my show. Shut the fuck up. I got this. Something tells me, Dabbz, you know a little bit more about the authenticity of the history of marijuana than me.
I've looked a little bit at it. So this is we're gonna get into the list now. All right, you guys ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right, so we got number 10.
Number 10.
Diez. Oh.
The first weed myth is that you can get high while eating marijuana. And of course, you get high. Everybody knows you just put the reefer in your mouth, you chew on it, and you get high. It's awesome. You put it in your brownies, you bake with it. You know what I'm saying? Eating weed gets you high, right? Everybody knows that, right?
I guess so, but I guess so. But you can't just eat the raw plant, right?
Why can't you?
Why not?
Can you?
I don't see why you
I thought
couldn't.
it took some sort of heating element to get the THC to a certain temperature to
He's a
release.
smart man.
I don't know.
That is it. Yes, actually, you do have to.
I take care of it from somebody, from a friend of mine. Yes.
Yeah, you have to actually heat reefer up to 165 degrees before it turns to THCA and the THC, which is a psychoactive ingredient that gets you high in reefer. So
And makes you rape people.
yeah, go insane. Yeah, so you can't just eat reefer. Like a lot of people just put like weed in their brownie mix and then throw it in the oven and act like that. Well, it does activate it somewhat. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. It's not good, bro.
Your brownies are awfully seedy. There's a bunch of like,
Stimmy.
what is this, basil? What do you got in here? Is oregano? This is a thick oregano.
Why is there bark in this guy? I don't understand. Okay. So number 9.
Number 9.
This is also another good one. Marijuana kills brain cells.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not my
Wait, that's
brain.
a myth?
No.
Yeah, everybody knows that marijuana kills your brain cells. It makes you stupid, right?
They're just
Yes.
they're just inaccessible when you're high. That's all.
Yeah, actually, it's totally not true. That's totally not true. They've been studying it actually for a couple of decades now, and recently the University of Louisville determined that marijuana users do not, in fact, kill off the precious brain cells that keep your noggin humming, they say.
Nice.
Which also in 2003, there was another report, the Journal of the Institution, this one's hard. Hard. Institutional Neuropsychological Society, published by Cambridge University, makes the same claim though. So you don't lose any brain cells. You do actually slow down though. You know, your motor functions do become a little bit slower. But it doesn't kill your brain. You know, it's actually a lot more healthy for you than we ever knew. You know what I'm saying? They found a lot of, it's in your nerve endings. There's receptacles for cannabinoids that are natural in your body. And,
Really?
Yeah. And it's actually, it's a very natural medicinal plant. It nowadays doing more and more studies on it, as opposed to even 15 years ago. 15 years ago, of the hundreds of thousands of scientists that were doing studies all over the world, only about 40 of them were doing any studies on reefer because you needed a bunch of licenses and whatever. So
Sure.
Nowadays, they're finding a lot. That reefer actually is a very good medicine, a very, very good medicine.
Nice. Yeah, I know a lot of people use it for nausea, pain medication.
Exactly. There's
And
even
sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
There you
so
go.
good for sleep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of the cancers also. They're finding that it helps prevent and fight. Yeah.
Really?
Didn't one of like Cheech or Chong fight cancer?
Chong, I think Tommy Chong is the one. He's the big medical marijuana fighter, lobbyer right now.
Nice.
Didn't he like almost get rid of it or something?
He get rid of it.
Like something dramatic.
It was completely gone. But he also said he used some special thing and salsa dancing. So you gotta take everything he says with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying.
That's amazing.
Weed Salsa dancing cures cancer.
Yeah, and some special herbal concoction that he blended up in a blender from
The salsa
South
dancing
of the
got me
border.
funny. Oh man, that's hilarious. Jesus.
Okay, so we're going to number 8.
Number 8.
Ocho.
Okay, so this one is also another good one. It affects me personally. Marijuana impacts your memories.
Positively or negatively?
A lot of people believe that reefer causes you not to remember, causes you to forget, and
Okay.
you lose short-term memories. Although reefer does have an effect on your memories, it doesn't cause you to forget, and it doesn't wipe anything away. You know, a lot of people say they don't remember everything clearly. It's just because it was bad.
It's just because they don't want to.
Yeah, you know,
They're too lazy to remember.
Like it was funnier then than it is now because then you were retarded. And I'm not trying to be rude. Like you were,
Not at all,
like
yeah.
you were retarded. You smoked something that retarded your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a clinical definition. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be mean.
No, not at all. In my past, I may have partaken, a long time ago.
No.
As far as my clearance
I don't
knows, I
believe it.
did officially one time, but I didn't inhale like Clinton. However, I think you enter into another state of mind when you're high. For speaking of memory, so when you get to that level and you suddenly remember things from the last time that you were at that same level,
That exactly happens.
but
to me.
you will never remember when you're sober. So you go into another dimension of thinking. I think
you're not able to reach that plane at a sober mind.
exactly.
You go to the upside down.
The upside
They
down.
I am
Wasn't that
not
what,
high right now. By the way, I'm not high.
Wasn't that kind of what Beer Fest was about?
Yes,
Like
yes.
they had to find the competition again, so they got super tanked.
Yeah, they would. It's got to be in the same state of mind for
Yeah.
what happened in that state of mind to make sense.
I think that's right. I think that's spot on. I think that's like being blackout drunk. Same thing. Blackout drunk, you see those memories that you had when you were in that state of mind prior.
But you can't communicate those memories because you're fucking blackout drunk.
Maybe if you have something that triggers to say, okay, when you're blackout drunk, record your memories.
That's why we started podcasting and bringing it down.
You aren't really doing a podcast. You're just talking to each other, so you have
Yeah.
something recorded for what you said to each other. When you're
We got so high and said some funny ass shit, man. We should record it.
Oh man, you guys. Yes, the Burn It Down studio. By the way, that's your plug. But there you go. It is a fucking blast. You guys have had some
Thank
fucking
you.
awesome people in there, and it's called Burn It Down for a reason. That's certainly true.
It's thank you. It means a lot to hear that. There's hearing it every time. You know, a lot of people come through the studio nowadays because we've been doing it for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and a lot of people come through and they go, man, it's so fun in here. You guys really do a really fun show. But
Hell yeah.
I gotta go home and take a nap.
There isn't a fucking box of cookies within a mile of the studio.
I'm not the only one that has to sleep after the show. They take a lot of pictures and put them on social media of me sleeping in the goddamn studio. That's some bullshit.
You slept on that couch a ton of times. I've seen 'em.
After every show, I fucking go to sleep on that couch, and I can hear him like I'm half asleep and hear him sniggering. Snaps. Oh, you motherfucker! God damn it!
Shout out to J Flow for those photos.
My dog. Hey,
Yeah.
hate you, love you.
Nice.
Well, real quick before the next item on the list, Fish Nerds jumped on and they giving us a shout out.
Ah, that's our boy, Clay
Okay.
Groves with the Fish Nerd podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout
By the
out
way,
Fish Nerd.
thank you so much, Clay Groves, for your Patreon donation. We greatly appreciate that.
Thanks,
Oh,
dude.
we got one of those now, guys.
You got a Patreon set up?
Hell yeah, dude, right here.
All right. We
what
got
I'm
like
talking
4 people. I don't have the list. Computer has it, but like, yeah, we got like, man, it was awesome, man. Patreon's the shit.
We only got one. We gotta start fucking pushing that thing. Goddamn.
We have 2.
On Twisted 10? I think it's just one. Oh, I'm
We
pretty
have
sure it's
like
just one.
10.
Okay, we'll go with we have 10. If anyone can look, I mean that's not, she's just gonna put the plug on. All right.
She's finna go do 10 right now. Just pull my phone.
Yep. John Hancock 1, John Hancock 2.
Betty Hancock. All right. Number 7.
Number 7.
Siete. I had to count. I can't ever remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Is that because you're high?
No, I'm not high.
No, see, stop.
I'm not high.
I'm
You
the
can't-
only one.
See that?
It's kind of weird, dude, being the only person high in the room. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, is everybody judging me? Like, anyways, number 7. Okay,
right.
so marijuana is addictive. True or not true?
Not true.
Wow. So chemically addictive versus I really love it and want to keep doing it addictive.
See, is that addictive? That's dependent. That is the gray area.
Dependent is a great question.
That is the gray area of marijuana. Like,
I'm gonna say no.
I don't think it's addictive either. I don't think it has addictive qualities. However, it's addictive to the point of being dependent. That's the perfect word for you to have said there. Dependent is required to do something to maintain that same level. Addicted to me could just mean, hey, I really like doing this. I'm addicted to it. I want to do it more and more and more.
Exactly. There's nothing about marijuana that causes you to want it or crave it, and the withdrawals are not physical. You don't shake, so it's not a real addiction. But I read somewhere, and I thought this was really cool the way they read it. It's the equivalence to having to eat chocolate all the time. Like, you really want to eat chocolate because you love chocolate so much. You're dependent on this chocolate. This chocolate makes you feel some type of way once you eat it, whether or not it's releasing endorphins in your brain. You know what I'm saying? You're getting something from it, but you're not addicted to it. You're not going to physically be in pain when you stop eating it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a habit. It's something you really like to do. You know what I'm saying?
So that could be
Depends on what time of the month it is.
That's exactly what she said.
So that's a liking, a chemical dependency to the your body's production of any of the hormones that make you happy. So the same thing could be said about sex, or could be said about
driving fast.
Yeah,
But there are sex addictions.
Well, that's how Tiger got out of
I guess that's true.
screwing Perkins waitresses. I mean, there's no dude that doesn't really love sex. There's just some people who have better self-control. Right?
What are those things called that your body releases that makes you happy?
Endorphins?
Dopamine?
Yeah.
Dopamine, yes. The chemical dopamine that your body produces is more productive when you're doing something you really enjoy. So maybe that chemical attachment to weed could be said that by some that it can be perceived as being addictive, because it releases dopamine in your body because it makes you happy.
Well, your body,
it's a possibility.
Your body does release CBDs naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, runner's high is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been scientifically proven that endorphin rush that runners get at the top of the hill, whether it's 7th mile or 8th mile, that extra wind are actual CBDs your body's releasing, and that's the high that you're getting. You know what I'm saying?
So a runner's high is the same thing as if I took a good hit off a
saying nice
really?
bong spot. Yeah.
Never running again.
What are you talking about? I'm like, when's the next break?
What if you combine chemical, your body's natural CBD and a bong hit?
So there's actual studies, like, nobody in the NFL will put this out there, but there's actual studies, like, while guys are healing, they do smoke reefer, and they say that it does help their body when they're healing, during the healing process.
Really?
Yes. That's a lot of more of the retired, like, offensive linemen.
Sure.
They swear by it. Like, they say marijuana helps them from concussion damage and healing up from injuries and old wounds and scars and stuff. Like,
shit.
They feel better. It's more than just a mental thing. Like, their body heals better.
Quick, punch me in the face. I need something to heal with.
Okay, I'm gonna go get this prescription, because Orange County got them dispensaries now, right?
Do they really? Has that open now?
I don't think it's open, but they the bill passed that they're going to be allowed to open one. Yeah,
that's awesome. Florida is one of the slowest states to do anything like this.
Oh my god! But it's chugging along though. The snowball has started down the hill. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we'll be a boulder by the time we get to the bottom.
We can thank the big arm of the law for pushing that. Was his Morgan?
John Morgan. That's my dog.
Get it, man.
That's my dog. Like, a lot of people ask me, because I'm like, yeah, John Morgan. They're like, so you know a lot about John Morgan? I want to be like, nah, not really.
Nope.
I just like him because he's about Reefer. Because, like, somebody asked me, he's like, so why is he about Reefer? And I'm like, man, I think his brother got into a car accident or something, and the weed helps his brother. I don't know, but all I care about is he's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get this shit passed.
Hell yes.
Put your millions up, because I don't got millions to spend on this. I don't mind that he's gonna get a bunch of dispensaries at the end of this. Get bread. You had to put a lot of money up to lobby for this. I understand. You can make money off it. It's cool. I'm cool with that. John Morgan all day. John Morgan for governor. I don't know if my endorsement will help at all, but Dabbz has got your back,
Yes.
John.
Yes. Can you imagine him as governor of Florida?
Oh my God, it would be the coolest and yet not. I would be so scared. It's like Trump being president. I love you, John. I didn't say that.
Dog bite.
Call.
Oh.
Okay, number 6.
Number 6.
Okay, number 6 is quitting smoking is easy. A lot of
Specifically smoking weed?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of non-smokers believe that you could just quit smoking weed. It's not a big deal. You just stop.
You can just like eat it or drink it.
See, yeah, he's a genius. Okay, now you got to
Vape
activate
it.
it though. Yeah, there's plenty of ways not to smoke it. Yes, and still get high. But for the purpose of this, it's the quitting cold turkey that they believe is it shouldn't be an issue. So like, there's no chemical dependency, yes, but anybody who's seen any movie that knows it makes you mad, it makes you angry, you're irritable for at least 4 or 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no withdrawal, you don't get the shakes, but man, I'll cuss you out. I'll cuss you out and be like, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't smoked in like 2 days, dude. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm a dick right now.
Well, that could literally be the chemical in your body, like the lack of that dopamine production in your body, which is flatlining basically.
Yeah, and any chemical you artificially induce to your body stops making it, on its own. So when you get off it takes your body a while to reset and start producing those chemicals. So it's understandable, why it happens, you know what I'm saying? But so know that it's not easy, and I'm not being a dick to you on purpose. I just ain't smoking in a couple days, okay?
All right.
So the serial
sounds
killers
super
that say it
shitty.
was because of marijuana, it's because they were not smoking marijuana.
There you go.
Wait,
They were
say that
just
again?
angry.
She said the serial killers that kill people and they blame it.
They
Actually,
blame marijuana. It's because they're not smoking it. If they were smoking it, they'd be chill. And
they
wouldn't
would
go
then they
nuts.
wouldn't have murdered nobody.
Yeah.
Because actually
Slowest bullet in the world.
I didn't say this earlier, but they actually did an autopsy on Buddy after they put him down and everything, and he'd never smoked weed a day in his life. There was no reefer.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
if he had, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, he's like they had actually recommended to put him in a home, in a insane asylum back in the day, and his family refused to, and got chopped up.
Dude, we did some stories about insane asylums. Oh man.
Oh, they
If
were
you-
bad back
That was
there?
a cool list too.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So insane asylums are nuts. Yeah.
62
We're
or
plugging
something?
ourselves for a Twisted
No
10
way.
episode there.
Number 5.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We're at
Oh,
break. We're at break. Yeah. 10 to 6. Take a break.
I want to
and
know
then
what
you do the
number
other
5 is now.
Well, you're going to have to wait.
You're gonna have to wait.
You're gonna have to wait.
Oh.
Because I'm sure Village Idiot Pub and the Salty Fox out of Melbourne want to get their messages to our
Oh, I
listeners.
do love hearing about them too.
It's their
Yes.
turn.
Yes, it is. And Brent Allen Salon now coming on board.
Sure, yep.
So, all right, we're going to take a break here in studio, and Mr. Dabbz Kay is going to bring us back with his top 10 myths about the reefer.
Yeah, let me hit that jack.
Yeah.
Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so crack on me. Before I have to pull the strap up the cut. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. You down with LPP? You down with LPP?
Sponsorship with Living Podcariously or the Twisted 10 is not just about contracts or money. We like to form relationships with those who invest in our shows.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We only like representing companies or products that we can really get behind.
We met Kyle and Bianca from Oak and Iron Photography at an event from another sponsor of ours and immediately bonded with them because, let's face it, they're just awesome people.
Yeah, and if you came out to our Living Podcariously listener event, you may have seen them roaming around, taking some photos for us. They captured so much joy and emotion in those photos that night. It was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Now, Adam, I'm kind of a amateur photographer, so I can appreciate how difficult it really is to capture moments like that.
They shoot events of any kind, weddings, lifestyle photos like maternity, couples, families, you name it. Not only do they capture moments that your grandmama will like, but they also put that Oak and Iron personal style and spin on what would normally be considered traditional photos.
Oh yeah, that Ring of Fire shot from our event was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Their photos not only capture the raw emotions, but when looking at them later, you're transported back to that day they were taken.
You'll see it on their website. They capture, quote, the real moments for the true at heart.
Nice.
Head on over to oakandironphoto.com to check out some of their work. Also, you can click the Contact Us button and get a quote of your own.
Go and check out oakandironphoto.com and let Kyle and Bianca know you heard about them from us.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner, Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
Hey, Tach, you ever have that conversation with your girl about where to eat dinner and it always turns into that back and forth? I don't know, you pick.
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for you next time that comes up.
Oh, yeah? Where at?
The Salty Fox in Melbourne off of Oak Alley Boulevard.
Oh, nice. You know, I've actually been there, and the food was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, it was. They offer a great selection of paninis, shareable appetizers, soups and salads, and one of the best desserts I've ever had, the Funky Monkey.
Oh, yeah, my favorite was the vintage options. They got this meal called ramen noodle on crack. You just got to try it out.
Done. That's definitely what I'm getting next time.
Put the fun between your legs at the Salty Fox every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with the Oak Alley Arts District Bike Crawl.
It's a 4-mile bicycle ride down Pineapple Avenue with stops for food and beer all along the route. Be sure to visit the Salty Fox every Sunday for brunch from 11 to 4.
Hey, isn't that the $10 bottomless mimosas brunch?
Sure is. Enjoy your brunch while the Salty Fox's DJ spins throwbacks and top 40 hits.
Salty Fox is located in the downtown Oak Alley Art District on Oak Alley Boulevard.
Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/saltyfoxmelbourne or online at thesaltyfox.net.
Hey listeners, be sure to mention you heard about the Salty Fox on our show and you'll get 10% off your meals.
Excuse my charisma, fuck a whisper, swagger down pat. Call my bitch Patricia, young money militia, and I am the commissioner. You don't want to stop music, cause the eldest been from this year. So misunderstood, but was a word without an enigma. Two bitches at the same time, synchronized swimmers. Got the girl twisted, cause she open when you twist her. Never met a bitch where I felt like I missed her.
Hey, it's Adam. If you enjoy the hosts or the content of the Twisted 10, be sure to check out our other show. It's called Living Podcariously. While the Twisted 10 may get crass and explicit occasionally, it holds no water to Living Podcariously. We do get a little bit more rough and raw on that show. We have a lot of fun producing it and have had some awesome guests. And as always, thanks for listening.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody just clap your hands. I fly girls, clap your hands. I fly guys, clap your hands.
Well, if you're feeling all right and you think you're on,
Somebody let me know.
Well, everybody in the place put a whistle in your face. Scream it out and say, yo, hey.
And welcome back to the Twisted 10.
Yay!
So during the break, we posted before the show started on Podcast Mafia, on the Facebook page for Podcast Mafia. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a 20 or 30 different shows out of Central Florida podcasts, and they all share a Facebook page and a group together. There's a few shows that are up north and not here in the area. However, we posted in there that send us your messages for Mr. Dabbz Kay to read live on the air during the recording. And our boy, our host, Mr. Tach Van Sickle,
Good old Tach.
added something in there.
The
So
lucky leprechaun, as we call him.
we'll have Dabbz read it, of course. However, Tach, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Are you not
avoiding him and then patronizing him?
Yeah,
What's
at
up?
the same, yeah. It's
other than the Dan Cummins day, you've never been in studio when Dabbz has been in studio.
not that I can recall. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong though. I've only seen Tach when the big guy was in here.
Right?
Yeah.
What's up with
Does
that?
he really exist? Do we know?
No, I've talked to him. I have even messaged him, talked to him on the Facebooks,
But how do you know that's real?
Oh.
Is it the male version of you?
Could be. You
Girl, wait a
never
minute.
know.
Does that mean
She's
I'm supposed to fuck Tach?
She's
Is
a
it?
transgender. You like them, right?
It depends on how much weed you smoke.
Fucking transgender may be the best thing I've ever heard. All right, so Dabbz Kay, we're going to read live on the air the message sent to us from our very own co-host, Mr. Transgender himself,
yeah.
Mr. Tach Van Sickle. So what's Tach got to say in there?
All right, so this is Tach Van Sickle's words, and I quote, "The show just isn't the same without Tach here. Why couldn't I have waited until another night when I could bask in the glow of his incredibly quick wit, intelligence, and handsomeness that can only be captured in actual life? This guy is a walking masterpiece." Tach Van Sickle.
Oh my God.
So humble, Tach.
Transgender is the best fucking word I've ever heard. I'm just saying.
It sounds like something a transgender would say.
Those transgenders are very conceited, huh?
A little bit. That's all the stoles they steal.
All right, so if we have any more messages dropped on there during the show, we'll read them live on the air.
Cool.
So, Dabbz, you brought a fucking great list.
All right, and back
recap,
half.
if you can you recap what 10 through 6 were for us?
Number 10. You can get high from eating raw weed. I tried to get you guys right out the gate, just catch you slipping. It didn't work. Everybody knew you can't get high off raw weed.
So we've heard.
Yeah, you can't. I know. You can't. You guys are smart people. You know. Anyways, marijuana kills brain cells. Number 9. Marijuana kills brain cells. That is not true, ladies and gentlemen. Explain your stupidity away some other way.
McDonald's.
It's not the reefer. It's not. It's your genes. Number 8. Marijuana impacts your memories.
Yep.
It does not impact your memories to the point to where you don't remember. It just, things get a little foggy, because you weren't all there.
So does the room.
Number 7, marijuana is addictive. It is a common misconception that you get addicted to marijuana. You do not get addicted. It's more of a dependency, but there's no physical or chemical addiction to marijuana.
Nice.
Number 6, quitting is easy. Even though there's no chemical addiction, it's anybody who smokes reefer knows it's a chore. If you smoke heavily, not smoking is not a good thing for the people around you. The people closest to you tend to get grumpy. The grumpy face, I like to call it. I don't want to talk. Leave me alone.
Very
Which
nice.
leads us to number 5.
Number 5.
Psycho. By the way, also joining us in studio is Mr. Wilson's Mrs. Wilson.
It's Mrs. Wilson.
Hey, Margaret, how are you? Wonderful. She's playing with Oliver and the new addition to the studio, which is a little black and white cat named Betty Boop.
Boop, boop, beep, doop, boop. Oh,
You guys did that together?
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Okay.
In case you didn't know, that was Andrea Joy and Dabbz Kay, a duet performed by them.
We
I
rehearsed that for months.
want to hear more from you two. So plan a song together and then bring it back to us.
I've been known to make a song now.
Hell yes. I was there. I think there one day you were recording before a show over at the Burn It Down studio.
It was the most stressful recording day of my life.
All right. Sorry. Back to your number 5.
Number five. This is one that I actually believed on my own before I read this. Oh, I guess I'm kind of giving it away. But it's that George Washington grew weed in his backyard. It's everybody who smokes weed, who loves weed, always goes, yeah, even George Washington grew weed in his backyard.
Yeah.
Which is not technically true.
In the gardens, maybe?
He grew hemp.
Okay.
And hemp is like a cousin to weed. You know what I'm saying? They're both cannabis, but a long time ago when cannabis was first being cultivated by man, it was used as a medicine. It was used as is a religious sacrifice, not
Sure.
sacrifice, religious
Sacrament?
Yeah, sacrament, I guess.
Sacrament.
They would smoke it and they do all this stuff. And they found that some strains of cannabis had hallucinogenic properties and some strains didn't. So that's when the first actual breeding of marijuana started. They bred hemp for its textural strength and the multiple applications for hemp.
Yeah,
there was.
papyrus or paper or
exactly.
yeah.
And then the marijuana went into the religious aspects where they would smoke for their whatever they smoked it for for religious reasons.
Yep.
And so they actually split from the cannabis family into hemp and marijuana. So what George Washington grew was hemp, which is different from marijuana. There's all kinds of rules and regulations about it. It's like Canada. It's hemp all the way up until it has, I think, like 0.3% THC in it. And once it has that much THC, they kind of classify it as marijuana. Where in America, like in Colorado or California, everybody knows reefer ain't reefer until it's at least 15-20%,
Well, with hemp, you would have to smoke a joint the size of a telephone pole to get a slight buzz.
Exactly, to get a slight buzz. Yeah. There's absolutely no THC or CBDs in hemp at all. So no,
makes a damn cheap paper product.
Okay,
though.
there's a lot of applications. They're actually starting to make freaking capacitors and batteries out of hemp. Like it's
really
there's a lot of hemp applications.
Is there anything it can't do?
Almost
get you high. It can't get you high.
But bump. All right, number 4.
Number 4.
This myth. The munchies and the giggles aren't real.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
They're so real.
There are people who believe that you're just fat and you just want to go eat. It has nothing to do with reefer. Like,
or that kind of makes sense too.
Like there's a lot of people I've heard non-smokers go, well, I snack too. It's not because you just don't have any self-control or it's the devil. A lot of people think reefer is the devil. They've been programmed. Goddamn reefer madness.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's actually. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say that's insane to me.
That people wouldn't believe it.
You
right?
just you can watch it happen.
That one's hard to believe. Yeah, that one's a tough one.
It's actually a syndrome now. They call it the Seth Rogen syndrome, because that's how he depicts a lot of his movies, sitting around chuckling and eating snacks and shit. So it's a syndrome now, the Seth Rogen syndrome, where everybody sits around and just fucking talks shit. So what gets plastered?
So what happened to you? Do your inhibitions get lowered, or to where you don't you'll allow yourself to be freer, or is that simply from the boost in that, what the fuck is that chemical called that you're dopamine? Is it the boost from the dopamine that makes you happier and then that causes the giggles and whatever?
I'm not sure if there's an actual increase in dopamine. I don't know if the brain studies have been done. I know that it intensifies your senses, so things are funnier, taste stronger, you know what I'm saying? Smell better.
I guess that's a good point.
So when you eat something, it's the best thing you've ever had. You know what I'm saying? When you hear a funny joke, it's the funniest thing you've ever heard. That's the type of reaction that it invokes out of you when you've been smoking. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense. If all of your senses are heightened, basically at that point,
it's just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So which is why when you're telling jokes or you're doing something when you're high, and then you go to say it again when you're sober, and you go, I must not be remembering it right because nobody's laughing. No, reefer doesn't affect your memory.
Yeah.
It was just stupid when you said it.
Yes.
But it sounded awesome at the time.
If all the senses are heightened, Josh, I have a friend I'm going to talk about right now for a second. Not me, it's a friend. But he's been known to get high, and all of a sudden he can hear every little fucking thing in the world. So every little noise outside, all that, suddenly you hear it all. What was that? Those types of things.
I think that might have a little bit more to do with the paranoia.
That could be, yeah.
A little bit of hyperfocus,
that could
paranoia.
Be. I'll tell my friend that to listen to this episode so he can figure out, the answer, the reason behind that.
The reasons we're still here. All right. We're going on to number 3.
Number 3.
A lot of people don't say that weed and sex just don't gel. if your man smokes a lot of pot, he's not going to want to handle his business in the boudoir.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
See,
I don't think that is
Well, so somebody in the studio angled to their baby making area. That's Mrs. Wilson. By the way, they announced on the show a few weeks ago that they are pregnant. So congratulations.
Apparently full of baby. That's awesome. Full of the baby. High five.
No, Josh is. Mr. Wilson is.
Threw some batter in the oven.
Threw some batter in the oven.
Hey, what's the punishment for getting it wrong? You made Tach do something. What was it?
Made me do something. Well, supposed to make me do something. She was making me dip my nuts in the candy bowl.
Oh, that's
what the fuck?
That was my idea.
That was what I was supposed to do.
I kept my mouth shut all
That's
about that.
right.
So you're going to have to go bag that.
I get a warning shot.
Candy bowl.
You had several.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I just like saying bag.
I need to know what this bag
That's not
is.
even a
We'll get back to
thing.
number 3 in a minute. Oh, bag.
Well, I was supposed to teabag a candy bowl if I misspelled, because Josh's name on the podcast is Mr. Wilson. That's what what he goes by, Josh or Mr. Wilson, whatever. But I kept fucking it up, and I kept calling him Josh and Tach and Andrea, Tach, aka our transgender.
Transgender.
I said if I get it wrong, that I have to go teabag the candy bowl. And this is the day Rocky Soka was over here, and he's like, "Man, that candy bowl's all sticky because one of the candies fell apart in there, and it's all sticky in the bottom of the bowl. So that meant shit is going to stick to your hand. So whatever stuck to my balls, I was supposed to eat. Well, I never did it. So to reverse that for Andrea, we'd have to make her vag bag it, whatever, where she would teabag it, but with her vagina.
That hurts so much.
Right?
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's inverted. And then hopefully she.
What if we dumped it on the vagina?
There we go.
No, I'm kidding.
Because I would hate to think of Andrea's vagina as like saggy dog or something, like droopy does.
It's the opposite of that.
Anyways,
let's keep talking about her
number
vagina.
3, sex and weed don't gel. Sex and weed don't.
It sounds
gel.
like they do.
There's a lot of teen PSAs nowadays that say weed is makes you unable to focus and basically a hermit, keeps you unable to talk to kids or talk to the members of the opposite sex. Excuse me. It teaches kids that you won't be able to talk to members of the opposite sex because you're high. Excuse me. I don't like talking to kids.
So let's get this straight. If you smoke reefer, you can pick up kids easier.
No,
all right. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Mr. Dabbz Kay from Burn It Down is announcing this now.
God damn it. No, I don't like that. No.
I don't know. Maybe the one myth about weed fucks up with your concentration. Maybe that's pretty spot on.
I wasn't a good reader before I started smoking weed. I ain't gonna get no better high. Fuck that. Oh my God. Yeah. So it's not true. There's actually studies been done. A lot of people say that orgasms and the act of sex is actually a lot better when you're high. It's a lot more enjoyable. And lasts a lot longer. I think I might have thrown that last one in there for me, but
yes, lasts a lot longer is a thumbs down from the studio audience.
That's how the baby got in there. Jesus, F you guys, I can't stand you right now.
You know the worst part about it is we actually are fairly confident we know what night that it happened.
Chicka bout wow.
And we were tanked.
Isn't that always what happens?
Tanked.
Only the strong survive.
That's when you're like, who needs a condom? That's what happens. Just saying.
I love you. You love me, right?
Let's do the
We're
damn
gonna
thing.
do this, right? We're married. Shit, fuck it. Got a house. We're good. 2 good jobs. I work for the space.
Yes.
All right. Number 2.
Number
Dose.
Number 2.
Number 2 is one that's particularly near and dear to my heart as well. Dare actually helps keep kids stay away from drugs.
Dare keeps kids away from drugs.
No.
All right.
To keep kids away
No,
from
I loved it. They
drugs.
brought all the drugs, showed us what they all were, so then I wanted to try them.
And that is exactly what happens. They end up glorifying drugs and make them so perverse and so party friendly. Like everybody cool's doing drugs and the kids end up wanting to be cool. Dare has had an actual increase in the effect of children that try harder drugs for the first time. Hold on, I didn't.
They quite literally put drugs on a pedestal. They put them up on that little easel board, and they're literally on a pedestal in the kids' classrooms.
And they make it they make it dangerously attainable is the quote that I'm going to use. Like they really make it sound like you can go anywhere and get it off the streets at any time and really just have a party whenever you want to. And these kids are out there doing it. Like Dare has been proven to have a reverse effect.
Well, they let you know where to go find them, too.
And how to go find it, exactly what it looks like, how to test it to make sure it works good.
Yeah.
It was a full kit. Yeah, it was a full kit on how to get
the
drugs.
warnings of like if you get dehydrated, so you should be drinking water while you do this.
Told you how to be responsible. Look, and I'm a fan of making bad decisions responsibly. You got to make the best bad decision possible. So if you take a bunch of ecstasy, make sure you got some water. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and don't drive.
No, well, I mean, yeah, don't drive. Don't drive.
Let's just throw that out.
Uber's so good nowadays.
Oh my God, they got Uber in Melbourne, dude. They got Uber everywhere
But
now.
if you're on ecstasy, go ahead and just go with the horse and carriage. With the driver, it'll be fine. Just do it.
That would only be on a cool night. I couldn't be riding no stinky horse.
Yeah, it's a nice chilly night in New York.
See, okay, I'm on the carriage ride in New York. Let's go.
You guys will be singing your song up there too.
Is Dare still around? Is it still a thing for kids?
Oh, that's a good question. Hey, you know what?
Hey,
no, Dare.
Let's ask our fifth studio mic in here.
Right.
She won't know.
Hey Google, is Dare still around?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Man, fuck this chick.
I don't know how to word that question better.
The Dare program.
Hey Google, is the Dare program still around?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Fuck you, Google.
Hey, Google. Who's doing it? You gonna do it. You gonna do it. Do it. You do it.
Okay, Google, do schools still use the Dare program?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Man, look, see.
Google, define the DARE program that's used in schools. Or fucking ignore me, bitch. That's fine too.
You know what? Nothing is gonna ever
See,
gonna replace
you know what
the
though?
computer.
That's what I was about to say. That solidifies computers' role
Nothing
on the
will
Burn It
ever
Down show.
replace the computer, man.
Yeah, this is doo-doo.
Damn, I was super excited too.
The episode of South Park make it sound so cool, man.
I mean,
Okay, Google, add poo-poo shitty butthole to my grocery list.
God damn it.
Okay, I've added Google shitty butthole to your shopping list.
Oh, Mr. Wilson. It's gonna be the weirdest shopping list in the world.
That's awesome. Dude, you guys should add all kinds of shit to his shopping list while he's not paying attention. 'Cause I'm sure you get it on your phone or whatever.
I do. Yeah. I just tell it to send it to me and it gives me my shopping list.
That's fucking awesome.
When you're at the grocery store the next time, you need to screenshot your phone and send it in. Perfect.
I can do that.
On the page. All right. Oh. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the list. We're gonna be we have reached that point in time, ladies and gentlemen, where we are at number one.
Number one.
Right. Right. And this one is also one from my childhood. Buying weed supports terrorism.
That's fun.
I was told as a young man that if you bought marijuana, you were supporting Al Qaeda and Osama bin Laden because that's where the marijuana come from. It was that Afghani Kush. If you wanted some shit that was good, you wanted some of that fire, you wanted some of that Afghani Kush, and you were supporting terrorism if you got Afghani Kush because it was goddamn terrorists were Afghans.
They do know we can grow it right here.
Okay, I was a young teenager. I didn't know no better. I didn't know no better.
Something would tell me that if the terrorist organizations out there had more weed, we'd have less terror.
Okay, thank you. Because they everybody now, if you're grown and you're doing a little bit of research, you know that their shit is opium. That's what they do.
Afghanistan's the world's leader in export for opium, which is heroin, and it comes from what the hell is that plant?
Poppy?
The poppy, this flower.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gorgeous.
It is pretty.
Poppies will make them sweet.
Okay,
Wow.
that
Was that Wizard of Oz? Wizard of Oz. Oh yeah. You like that reference?
That was good.
So terrorism.
Yes. Buying Reefer supports terrorism, and everybody in America knows that's not true no more. It just supports the local pot grower.
Exactly.
Right. It supports some
your
dude in
local
Colorado.
farmer.
Okay, or California.
California.
It
However,
supports local farmers.
However, if terrorism is supported by the purchase of marijuana, Dabbz, you single-handedly funded the 9/11
Look,
Just saying.
I might have had a hand in it if that's the case. I
bought all those tickets.
I kind of stayed away from the Afghani strands, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm more of an indica guy. Those are sativas, you know.
Yep.
And by the way, Dare still does exist.
Does it?
That's
Yes.
terrible.
There's even an international conference in 2018 if you guys want to all attend.
You know what? Can you get me tickets? Can you put me on the list?
Please say that.
Hopefully it's not sold out.
Please say it's in Colorado. Please say it's in Colorado. Be the fucking shit.
Oregon. Put it in Oregon.
Please say it's in a weed legal state.
Conference.dare.org.
Texas.
Conference reservations
Kentucky.
are live for 2018. So where is it?
Okay, while she searches for that,
Yeah.
I did have one bonus one
Ooh, bonus.
that made me chuckle a little bit on the inside.
Nice.
Pot can turn straight people gay.
Is that a thing that people still believe?
So a
Holy
few
shit.
years ago,
It's in Orlando.
oh my god,
The conference is in Orlando.
Orange County is gonna have plenty of dispensaries by then, though. That's gonna be fucking sweet. Okay, okay.
The irony.
So a few years ago, stories were circulating that apparently asserted that marijuana has the effect of smoking straight people unstraight. No official studies have been
Choked on my
conducted on this Reefer Madness caliber nonsense. But if this is true, then blah blah blah, taking this fact. But weed just lowers the inhibitions of people, so maybe people who had a proclivity to bisexual behavior are more open to that behaviver. But
Okay, I can see that defense.
Is that why you keep touching my leg?
look, I do not need to be high, sir.
However,
There's a glow about you.
we
though.
do remember on one of the episodes of Burn It Down, he did start the gay chicken challenge with our good old boy Tuttle. Just
I
saying.
didn't start the gay chicken challenge. I appreciate it if you didn't put misinformation like that out there. Tuttle has started the gay chicken challenge, and then somebody got on her stupid ass fucking Facebook group page and was like, "You should do a Patreon tier for gay chicken." And all of a sudden, there's $1,000 Patreon tier for fucking gay chicken with Dabbz, and I got people over here in the corner going, "Yeah, man, we're getting a group of people together. We're putting $1,000 on that bitch. You're gonna be gay chicken, and you're grabbing somebody's dick. Somebody's gonna pay you $1,000 to grab a dick. No, stop it! I don't want to play gay chicken. No."
Every time you guys say gay chicken, it makes me think of a really feminine rooster.
Oh God, that's a fucking great list, Dabbz. Let me tell you. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
having you coming in for a top 10 list, I had a feeling it was going to be something very marijuana based because I mean that's
the kind of my thing.
Yeah.
my shtick.
Shit thing.
Yeah.
But you fucking brought it. You brought a myths behind it as well.
Yeah,
that's fucking nice. I like that.
We've been kicking it around for a while, and I honestly couldn't find a good enough idea, so this one came across, and I was like, you know what, I really like this one, so boom, it happened.
Yeah, dude,
I was
it
totally
good.
nervous to do this. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not like the greatest host.
You rocked
was
it.
good.
You did. Yeah, you
Good.
did.
Great.
You did really well.
Alright.
I say this a lot. You can really tell when this is ironic with this, but you can really tell when a guest host comes in with a list that they're really passionate about because you don't even have to read the shit. You just know it. You just talk it. You elude it. I mean. Exude's not the right exude. Thank you. Words are hard.
I know,
but no, you fucking owned it. That was a really good
thank you,
list.
thank you. I like Reefer. It's no lie. It's no lie.
So tell our listeners a little bit about Burn It Down.
Burn It Down is a show. We've told you guys a couple times. We like to smoke some pot and we like to talk shit. We're not really a current events type of show. It's more free range, free thinking. It's what we start a conversation and we just talk for, an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? But we try to stay away from topics. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird concept, but we don't really have topics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you guys do a lot of evergreen content, which means you can listen to it a year from now and still enjoy.
Listen to it. Yeah,
it's not. Oh, these are the sports scores for this week's games. It's not time
Yay,
sensitive.
sports.
I mean, we do have our moments where we talk sports, you know what I'm saying? But still, it's not really a point spread or this or that happened. It's
Sure.
like, your team sucks, my team's is shit. You know, it's still easy going.
You guys did a burger challenge not too long ago in the summertime.
Shoot, and it's gonna be recurring. It's gonna be annual.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Next. I think we're gonna change it. I would hope that we could talk tacos negative.
The taco challenge.
To a time of year that's a little bit cooler because it was mostly an outside thing, especially the last one that were cooking and grilling outside.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be around the grill, but it's so hot, you know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I would like to see, but we only have 3 weeks of cool temperatures around here, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard in Florida. It's hard, but yeah.
should do it like around Valentine's Day.
You should do a baking one at Valentine's Day with desserts. Dessert.
You should just say you're hosting that and invite a bunch of people to your house. Just say, leave your stuff. Go ahead and head out.
Turn it into a potluck.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody bring me cheesecake, please.
I love coming over your guys' show. It's really a lot of fun. Sitting in our studio back there on the wall of Easter eggs, we've got one of your stickers on one of the growlers that we've got. I think the one from Tomoka. I think Jay Flo hooked me up with that, but I put the sticker right on the growler because I needed something for the wall from you guys. But yeah, we highly encourage our listeners to go check out Burn It Down. Andrea and I have been on there before. Yeah, burnitdownshow.com. I've been on there before. Andrea's been on there as well. I don't think Tach has been on there yet.
No, Tach
Tach
didn't come to
doesn't
the
like
studio.
Dabbz.
No.
We don't know who Tach is.
We're gonna roll with that. Tach really just must not
That's
like
what's
Dabbz.
happening.
I don't feel the love. I'm not gonna lie.
That must be it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Sad
I did
day.
just call him a transgender, Joe. so-
Transgender.
I believe that would make it Dabbz K1, Tach 0.
Flat Earth friends.
Want to encourage our listeners to go check out patreon.com/thetwisted10. We've got some reward incentives set up there. So please go check it out. Mr. Clay Groves, thank you very much for your patronage, sir. We love that. If you guys want another podcast to go listen to, check out the Fish Nerds podcast. That's what Clay Groves
Fish Nerds.
hosts. Fucking great show. On that, I learned that in the movie Finding Nemo, the father... Nemo was the crippled one, the injured one.
Good movie.
The mother died, so the father had to raise Nemo. Well, what would have really happened in that fish community is that either Nemo or the father would have changed sexes and mated with their own son.
That's gross.
Right? That's what would have really happened.
Can I take back my bell now?
Nope, it's too late.
That's gross.
So we got a couple more came in. We got one of our patrons from our other show, Living Podcariously.
Oh, nice.
Yep, Stephanie and Dan, they wanted to come in, give a shout out. Just to us. Tall Trey Comedy.
Tall Trey. Still one of our most downloaded Twisted Tens, man. Trey has the following.
Yeah. But he wants to give a shout out to Oliver, Studio Dog.
Oh,
Yay,
shout out to Ollie.
Says he doesn't get enough credit. And then, Tach wanted to say hi, but,
Yeah, sorry, Tach, buddy.
Oh, the bell didn't work. It's broken.
She actually put her hand over top of it to make sure it didn't phantomly vibrate.
Yep. All right, go check out facebook.com/thetwisted10. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review on iTunes. That really helps us out a lot. Go check out Burn It Down Show, burnitdownshow.com.
Yay.
That definitely subscribe to as well. They've got a ton of good episodes. Your guys, fuck you, I don't remember his name, but the guy that has the Spanish characters.
Oh,
Chico.
Bofa. Yeah.
Bofa.
Chico's brain, but you're talking about, the new segment.
Yeah,
Bofa.
dude, that's so funny. And just unbelievably talented. I have thought about trying to get somebody to do voices that is that good because he is so good.
He's really passionate like that, and those are all his ideas. Like everything's free form. That's all him. Like we might give a slight suggestion, like, "Hey, do this kind of voice."
Sure.
Or maybe you want to do one of these kind of characters, and then he fully like devotes time and energy. He writes all his bits and then he sends us this complete thing. It's like, here you go.
Dude, that's
like,
golden.
It's fucking awesome. Like, I love it. It's sweet. Both the segments inside the show though, like Chico's brain too.
Yep.
Like, it's a nice switch up. It's a nice change of pace from what we do. You know what I'm saying? And lets him gives him a chance to build his audience back up. You know what I'm saying? Because he's an old time vet podcaster too. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it grows into his own thing and he's back to doing his own show, full time, full hour and a half, 2 hour show.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Go be sure to stay tuned to the Facebook page for the Twisted 10. We're going to start giving away some of the gift certificates that our new sponsor that's come on board, Brent Allen Salon Day Spa. God damn it, Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa is giving away. We're not making money off of this sponsor. We're turning all of that money back around to the listeners. So you guys are going to get your chances to win gift certificates for massages, pedicures, man, whatever the hell.
Okay.
You need a massage?
How about this?
What
Let's
needs a pedicure, manicure?
let's throw the first one up. Let's have the first one going up the day after this episode drops.
Nice.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, keep your eye on it. When you hear this, then go check out the Facebook page, and there'll be the details on how to enter to win. So super cool. All right, you guys ready to get out of here?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
Where can our listeners find you, babe?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, so I'll be eating turkey.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
All right. Or you can go see me at Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa, the new sponsor that came on board, right?
Oh, yeah, that too.
All right, good enough. All right. On behalf of the Twisted 10, I am Adam.
I'm Andrea Joy.
I'm Mr. Wilson.
And over to our very special guest host of the evening and a very knowledgeable man with the list that he brought and educated all of us a little bit in studio,
Dabbz motherfucking Kay.
Mr. Dabbz Kay. Thank you guys for listening so much this week. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Oliver, you got a shout out.
Hey, remember we had that listener event?
Yeah. Our first ever listener event from Living Vicariously.
Yeah, 7/7/7, July 7th.
Giant success. In fact, we just gave Keith with the Children's Hunger Project his money from that event that we raised.
Indeed, we did. Hey, what was that beer that was donated for the event?
That was from Bug Nutty Brewery. That was called the Nutty Idiot. It was a medium-bodied lager. I don't remember the ingredients that they had in it, but man, it was good. We served 300 pours, all 300 possible pours that we could have out of their donation. We served very, very quickly that night.
Yeah, it had like an Asian flavor to it or something. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was interesting. It was cool, though. I loved it.
I think a little bit of a sesame flavor.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get that ingredient list from them. But yeah, that was really, really good. Our boy Ray Burrito also does comedy up there every third Thursday at Bug Nutty Brewery here on Merritt Island. He does the third Thursday comedy night up there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's a really cool list. It's every time I've been up there, it's amazing comics.
Nice.
Andrea, did you try the beer that night?
Oh, yes, it was wonderful.
She's not a beer drinker, can you tell?
Don't say it like that.
I wasn't standing at the game all night. I had plenty of time to drink beer.
Yeah, John and the guys over at Bug Nutty certainly hooked us up. So we want to send all of our listeners, if you're looking for a good microbrew, especially in Brevard County, there's a lot of them out there, and Bug Nutty is by far one of the best.
They are located at 715 North Courtney Parkway, Merritt Island. Give them a call at 321-452-4460 or email them at manager@bugnutty.com. Andrea,
we close most of our shows telling our listeners how they can come see you up at Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa. Do you want to tell the listeners the cool news, or can I?
I think I've got this one, Adam. Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa is joining the Dichotomy Media team, and this time, the investment is being turned around to you, the listener. Keep your eye on our podcast Facebook page for contests and giveaways that include massages, pedicures, and gift cards for all services. Brent Allen is a Paul Mitchell-focused salon, which keeps us up to date on the latest hair trends and fashions.
The atmosphere at Brent Allen is inviting as well as comfortable. The spa brings the definition of tranquility into a reality. You can enjoy a wide range of massage techniques to facials, body scrubs, wraps, pedicures, waxing, spray tan, and much more.
Brent Allen Salon and Day Spa is located at 3570 North Highway 1 in Cocoa, just 1 mile north of 528. Come in and see us in person or visit us online. The pricing and menu of services can be found at BrentAllenSalon.net or call to book an appointment at 321-639-7376. If you book with me, be sure to mention this ad and receive 20% off your first service.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of the Twisted 10. Aw,
what's up, guys?
Yeah. No Tach tonight. He is off taking care of the kids this evening. So, but there's still four of us. So there are four of us in studio. I am Adam. I am one of your regular hosts, but I am not hosting this week. Since there's no Tach, we're going to throw it over to the Lady Chays.
We are the hosts, and we're so cheesy. The lists are written by us, so talking is easy.
But all right, we'll go with that. That's Miss Andrea Joy over there.
Hi.
On the
Andrea
ones and
Joy.
twos.
Spitting hot bars.
Sitting over in the big recliner over in studio.
It's Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Oh, and Andrea, did you have the list tonight?
No, I'm not doing one.
Okay, all right.
I am
Mr.
also
Wilson?
not your host tonight. That's a couple weeks out.
Oh, yeah. So let me preface this next guest a little bit. So in honor of the Christmas season, or if you're not into Christmas, the seasonal time of the year, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas around town. You see things up on light posts now, on like the telephone poles are starting to decorate.
Already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd like to say there's a lot of green and red that we see throughout the town.
Yeah.
So I think this gentleman that I'm about to introduce is certainly going to make this room very green tonight. So we have none other than Mr. Dabbz Kay from the Burn It Down show.
What I go on?
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hanging in there, Dabbz. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. You know, a little bit nervous. Y'all bet y'all get that a lot though. When you know.
We do. At the beginning, it's always a little nerve-wracking, but we'll go hit that Jack Daniels a few times, and we'll be all right.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Might want to put the bottle right next to me.
All right, so if you're a new listener to the Twisted 10, I'll go over the format with you. Tach usually does this. Josh, Andrea, do you guys want to, Mr. Wilson or Andrea, do you want a shot at explaining how the Twisted 10 works?
I wanted to hear what you were going to say.
Oh, well, all right.
They said you got this, bro.
All right, so basically each week, one of the regular hosts, or a guest host in this case, like Mr. Dabbz Kay, brings an original and unique top 10 list to the listeners. It can be any subject, it does not matter. There is no restriction. It can be uber sexual. It can be over the top about laws, like Andrea Joy's lists have been in the past. It can be basically anything. It doesn't matter. The only caveat is it can't be completely ripped off. It can be inspired by like a BuzzFeed or one of the other list sites that are out there. However, it has to be original. It has to be yours. You have to put your own special spin on your list.
Okay.
So in this week's case, I have a feeling Mr. Dabbz Kay is going to bring a pretty uniquely spun list of some kind. I know what it is, but the other they have no clue. They don't have any idea.
You wouldn't tell us.
Nope, I'm keeping it a secret. And then basically we break down each one of the top 10, have a little bit of banter back and forth.
Why we do it though? We take a turkey and we stuff the list inside of it.
Here we go.
And then we put it in the oven and we bake it for 12 hours. And then we take it out and we carve up the turkey. Then we get the list out and then we eat it. And then it comes back to us where we present it to you, our listeners.
Yeah.
All right.
He approves.
Hey, is there somebody here?
No?
It might be Margaret.
Is Margaret coming over?
Yeah, she's coming tonight. She knows we're recording, so
Hang on,
she
let
may
me
not
look.
have.
All right. So yeah, false alarm. Thanks, Oliver. We appreciate the studio alarm going off. But,
Preach, Ollie.
So with, I guess with that being said, Dabbz, this is the point. And Tach usually throws a proverbial fake set of keys at the listener. I'm not going to throw anything at you.
No.
You can just send it through a text.
You,
2017.
yeah, I'll IM it to you. Oh, I do want to say something too. Mr. Wilson brought something for us. Mr. Wilson is kind of our technology guy in the studio.
Okay.
You guys have on Burn It Down show, you've got computer. You've got your own live-in host that also does all the fact checks and does your random searches. We're
Air quotes
introducing
everywhere.
All over the place.
We're introducing, this is not a plug for them, even though we think it's really fucking cool. However, we're introducing the Google Home device.
It's a Google Home. We'll try it out tonight, see how it goes.
And we have her mic'd up. So any question we want to ask her, she'll answer for us, hopefully. Hopefully, any
hopefully. She's
question.
been a bit moody.
Yep.
You want to sample it? See what can we ask her just to sample it for the listeners?
Hey Google, what's the farthest into space that we've traveled?
On the website curious.astro.cornell.edu, they say, currently, Voyager 1 is about 130 times the Earth-Sun distance, or 19.5 billion kilometers from home. Not only is Voyager 1 the furthest spacecraft from Earth, it's also
cool.
now officially the only spacecraft to have
Okay,
ever
Google,
left the
stop.
solar system.
Oh, she listens. It's
She
a woman.
did.
Can you reprogram her voice? Can it be like
It can be this voice or a dude's voice.
nice? All right, so that's actually mic'd up in studio. That's Mr. Wilson's personal Google Home device. That's really fucking cool. Oh, by the way, Andrea is in charge of Plug Bell tonight since we don't have a tack.
Yay.
Everything's gonna get plugged.
All right.
Sweet. All right, Mr. Dabbz Kay. At this point in the show, buddy, this is your entire show, so you take it over. Do you want to talk real quick about Burn It Down a little bit, so our listeners know where to go? That's a perfect plug bell, perfect timing. So our listeners know where to go to find you. We've had you guys in here a ton too.
Burnitdownshow.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us or email the show at talktoburnidown.com, I think. Something like that. But, I never remember the email. But look us up on Facebook. Hit the website up. You know what I'm saying? We're everywhere too. We're on iHeartRadio. We're trying to get on Spotify, but we're anywhere and everywhere you can get a podcast. You'll find the show.
Who do you guys host through? Is it through SoundCloud?
Yeah, still through SoundCloud. Yeah.
Cool. I know Spotify just took a bunch of